Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
No value here. Lord, I'm going to lay myself down today and have a latte with Andy. Well, I'm touched anyway. Thank you, mate.
No, I was receiving your greatness then.
Hey, that was a really good message, mate. So, as always, Sam, you just bring the gold.
That's very kind of you.
Who do you want to talk to? Of all the Bible characters, who would you like to have a chat
I'm
with?
assuming Jesus is not an answer we're allowed to.
Well, we have had that already. So Joyce took Jesus. And we have everyone else.
He's taken.
He's very busy.
He's with Joyce right now, having a tea.
Right. I had this idea that he could be with everyone all the time.
Nah, sorry.
So
Joyce has got
he's
Jesus.
not working the gate. Peter's on the gate, so you're going to have to go past
Pete's
Peter.
on the gate.
But you don't
He's
need to talk to
busy.
Pete.
I don't know if I want to have a coffee with Pete. I think
Don't you?
Well, it could just go any direction, couldn't it? No, I would. Actually would. That would be fantastic. My choice would be, overall, of all.
No offense to Peter if he's
No
listening.
offense to
He would be
Peter.
amazing
He's
to
a
have a coffee
great, but he is a loose cannon as well.
He's 110%er.
He is,
I
isn't
would
he?
love that. I
He
love
is.
110%ers. I love people who are
Yeah.
like all in.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I'd
Even
love
if
to have a
he's
chat
like,
with him.
yeah, he can either be 110% right
100%.
or 110% wrong
That's it.
at any given moment.
But you love that. I love those
Yeah.
people. So I'll take Peter. Okay. Everyone at Joyce
great.
is with Jesus.
I'm-
I'm with Peter. Who are you with, Sam?
It's not the most exciting answer, but I would probably choose the Apostle Paul.
Yes. You'd be a ticketing system for him because
Yeah, it
I
would
think there's a
have to
bit of a
be.
lineup for the
I
Apostle
would think
Paul.
so. I
But
would
what
think
would
so.
you want to see Paul for?
I think because his life is so similar to ours, I guess. Not similar in that we're apostles,
And you're
going
whipped and
around the
you're-
world and, all that kind of
Writing
thing.
Bible.
But here, writing the
Shipwrecked
Bible. But just that he's a New Testament.
Yeah.
He's after Christ, a believer,
Right.
and he suffers so much, suffers so well. And probably because I'm preaching to Timothy at the moment,
Yeah.
and it might be helpful for sermon prep. But he, that's his last letter, final words, and he's facing death from a cold, dark prison in Rome. And how do you write a letter like that
Yeah.
when you face death with such hope, such joy?
Amazing.
And I want to ask something, Sam. So some people see Paul as an angry, confrontational sort of guy. How do you see him? Do you think up there he'd be the opposite to that, like a chilled, really quiet, reflective guy? Like, how do you see Paul?
Yeah, because I don't see him like that at all. I think the things he writes, read the beginning of Romans 9, where he says, like, his desire for his Jewish brothers and sisters to be saved. He says, he has to say, I'm not lying. Like the Spirit bears witness. I would be cut off from Christ for their sake. Paul, who loves Christ, to live is Christ, to die is gain. Everything else is rubbish compared to the surpassing greatness of knowing Christ Jesus my Lord. And he says, I would be cut off and accursed for the sake of them, if it would help them.
Yeah.
So I think that guy is, I think he's humble,
Yeah.
loving, kind, patient, and he'll put you in your place if you muck around with the grace of God and start adding works. Then he really will defend the gospel. But
But in
Yeah.
love. I'm with
Yeah.
you. Over the years, I've heard people preach, Paul wasn't a good pastor. He was an angry servant. But I'm with you. I think he was the most loving,
Oh, my
generous
goodness.
guy, but wasn't afraid to confront issues like when Peter in the book of Galatians was being a bit
Yeah.
of a hypocrite, wasn't afraid to challenge Peter and say, hey, mate, this is actually wrong. I'm with you, man. I love Paul.
yeah, you read Philippians, he addresses different groups in such different ways. So there are some people who are preaching Christ, but they're doing it to get at him. He says, I don't care. As long as Christ is preached, whatever.
Yeah.
Then there are some who are twisting the gospel, and he calls them dogs. Beware of the dogs. But there are some who disagree on small things, and he says, and just pray for them. God will show them in time. Just be patient. He calls some people enemies of the cross, and he says, I'm talking about them with tears.
Yeah.
So he's a broken-hearted, I think, for the lost, loving, loves the Lord, loves the gospel.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.